Talk Nation, welcome back everybody. Hey, today we're going to talk about why the business of basketball is hurting the sport. And what brought this on was the Nets crushing the Sixers, 129-100. Now, it's a lot of petty crap going on. You know what I mean? As far as the Ben Simmons situation. Look, Joel Embiid said what he said, Doc Rivers said what they said, but at the same time, the storyline was ultimately Ben Simmons needed to work on his game and improve as a player. As phenomenal as Ben Simmons is as a talent, he still needs to work on aspects of his game. And it doesn't matter which team that you go to, you're still going to have to develop and improve yourself as a player. And the NBA, ultimately, that is what solidifies and certifies your stock and your value. He didn't do that with the Sixers. So that's why Embiid said what he said, Doc said what he said. At the end of the day, they wasn't wrong. But where they did go wrong was broadcasting and putting that energy out to the media. Instead of after the game and after you guys were not in front of the camera, sitting down with Ben Simmons and really just keeping it 100 and laying everything on the table, putting everything out there and having a conversation as men and as professionals and as teammates. That should have been the underlying narrative, but it didn't go down like that. That's why you had Ben Simmons sitting out, getting fined, you know what I mean? And ultimately, he wound up getting traded. So hopefully, he will flourish with the Brooklyn Nets. Right now, his back is bothering him, as they say. Whether that's true or not, everybody has their opinion. Truthfully, personally, I don't care. He's not playing. But at the same time, he's with that team. So eventually, he will play. And him being the caliber of player that Ben Simmons is, despite his lack of shooting, he will excel with the Brooklyn Nets. That's first and foremost. Now, that business and that relationship hurt Ben Simmons' stock. And it also hurt the Sixers as far as a franchise. Because just imagine if you had a developed Ben Simmons. Just imagine if you had a developed Ben Simmons, because you not only lost a scoring talent, because despite him having that lack of shooting, Ben Simmons could still score. He could still play at a high level. And he was one of the best defenders, if not the best defender on the team. One of the top defenders in the NBA. So the Sixers lost a lot when they lost Ben Simmons. Yes, they did gain a scoring threat when they got James Harden, but James Harden is not the defender that Ben Simmons is. He's a better scorer. He's a better scoring talent, yes. But the way the league is and the way the Sixers were and how they should be is defense. Prime example, you look at the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat is number one for a reason, because defensively, they're a problem. And they also have scoring threats. You have to have both, especially when you're talking about finals. You're talking about winning championships. It's cool that you can score, but you have to lock down. You have to be able to play defense as well. Now, let's talk about Kyrie Erving. Kyrie Erving. The whole situation with him not being able to play due to he didn't want to take that shot. And at the same time, I can't blame Kyrie Erving, because for a while, I was the same way. I felt as though, you know what, you're not putting that vaccine in my body. I don't know what that is, you know what I mean? And I've never had it. Hopefully, I never will. But at the same time, mentally, I understand where Kyrie is coming from. But the officials in New York State feels as though, you know what, hey, if you don't want to take the shot, you can't play. And I don't necessarily agree with that, because although he plays for the Brooklyn Nets, his personal feelings and thoughts should just be between him and the team. And him and the team and the league should deal with that. New York itself shouldn't really mandate or dictate if Kyrie Erving should be able to play a basketball game. You know what I mean? Just because they play in that market and in that city, they shouldn't be able to dictate if he can play. Now, with that said, Kyrie Erving still will be able to play, especially when it comes down to the finals. But he will miss a couple of games, but majority of those games, he will be able to play. So Kyrie Erving is still going to be a threat and a problem, which he showed when he played Philly, locking down James Harden, you know what I'm saying? Before that, having 50-point games. Kyrie Erving is still a problem. And the fact that he's able to sit out a couple of games means that when Kyrie Erving comes back into the game, he's fresh, you know what I mean? He's rejuvenated. He just got finished chilling a day or two because he couldn't play. So that is a negative, but at the same time, it looks like the Nets, shout out to Steve Nash, like they are really making that low-key a secret weapon, because Kyrie Erving is coming into the game fresh, well-rested, and when he comes back into the game, he's producing. It's not like he's having lackluster games, you know what I mean? Now, you're going to have games where they may lock you down defensively, they may hold you to a certain percentage as far as your shooting, but at the same time, when you look at it from a predominant scale, Kyrie Erving ultimately has been successful, even though he has not been able to play all of the games. So the business of basketball is hurting what's going on within the league and within teams to a degree. But at the same time, great teams and great organizations are going to find a way to win. And proof of that was the Sixers and the Nets. By the Nets putting on a performance like that, it just showed that, you know what was going on as far as the business of basketball. We still have a job to do. We still have to go out there and produce. More importantly, we still have to win. So with that said, that's it. You know what I mean? So is the business of basketball hurting the sport? Yes. But just like in any business and any practice, there's always room for improvement. So hopefully the mandate will change. It will be lifted. You know what I mean? But if it doesn't, I don't think ultimately that's going to hurt Brooklyn as hard and as severely as a lot of people think. I think, like I said, low-key, that's going to be a benefit for them because Kyrie Erving is going to be rested. And if KD has to sit out because he's hurt or he needs to rest, guess what? Kyrie Erving is well rested. He's going to step up. And he's already proven, you know what? Given the right circumstances, if the ingredients are right, he can go out there and drop 50 and secure the win. So, with that said, Talk Nation Stand Up is your boy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Do your best to stay humble, stay motivated, protect yourself at all times, guard up, and mask up. Why? Because it's a war going on outside, and ain't nobody safe from. Talk Nation Stand Up is your boy. Peace.